I'm just gonna go ahead and steal it. Give me Krrsantan, baby.
Yeah, I knew it.
Okay, Krrsantan was my #1 pick, to be fair, on my list I have written out. Of course, would be a no-brainer. Should be a brand new figure, though.
Oh.
I will literally riot.
Oh, we got
if
burns.
Oh, it's got to be a new sculpt.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Figure It Out of the Basement's Black Series talk show. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And today we've got more news. 2 weeks in a row with news. Can you believe it?
They omitted more stuff from the stream to make it seem like a subpar Fan First Wednesday, and then a few days later they just reveal more stuff that they could have easily put in the stream for a better stream.
Absolutely. So we've got a few new figure reveals to go over. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time today. First things first, though, we've got a little gift from our good old buddy Landspeeder Luke.
Yep.
They are currently starting to produce some enamel pins, and they sent one over to us. So we've got this cool little Black Series pin right here.
Yeah.
It's a nice little red and black box pin. Very cute. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Landspeeder. I believe they will be putting these up for sale, I want to say.
Yeah, maybe. They do a lot of great work, though, if
True.
you want to check out their Instagram.
Definitely check out Landspeeder Luke on Instagram. Thank you very much. All right, Justin, so let's jump into the TVC news first. Let's get Let's get the TVC news out of the way. So these figures are already available for pre-order. They've already gone up for pre-order by the time you're watching this video, but we did get 3 new Target exclusive TVC figures. The first one is Axe Woves. Then we also have Koska Reeves and Miggs Mayfeld in the Juggernaut tank pilot.
Morak.
Yes, Morak. The disguised version of old Miggs. Pretty awesome looking figures. Axe and Koska look amazing. They're going to look great with Bo-Katan. And honestly, I was pretty shocked because I was able to very easily pre-order these hours after they went up.
Nice.
Which
Maybe that's the better pre-order experience here.
I really wasn't expecting that, especially with Target exclusives. I know Axe Woves actually went up like an hour or so later than Miggs and Koska.
All right.
But they were all right there, easy to pre-order. So, hey, I've got an Axe Woves and a Koska Reeves coming my way, and they look great. And I think they're going to look awesome next to Bo-Katan.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how TVC and Black Series are mirroring each other. Sometimes TVC stuff does something first. Sometimes Black Series does it first, like with Koska and Miggs. Axe Woves has a removable helmet, which is interesting because the Hot Toy version of Axe does not have a removable helmet, you know, no head sculpt. So hopefully the Black Series will have a head as well.
I don't know, Justin, is Hot Toys starting to skimp out? But these look great. They're all $13.99, so still that affordable TVC price. And I'm sure they're probably sold out by now, though, unfortunately, by the time you're watching this. But if they're not, that'd be awesome.
Then, let's jump into Black Series. Nate, I'm furious. So we have, from the comics line, you know, the 50th of Lucasfilm comics line, Comics Legends-ish line that we got last year. They're continuing that with Black Krrsantan, the Wookiee bounty hunter. This is, you know, that window book packaging. The art is from the mainline Star Wars comic where Black Krrsantan encounters Obi-Wan Kenobi in the deserts of Tatooine.
The box looks so good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, look at this awesome artwork from the Jason Aaron comic book. This is great. And then you see what happens when the box opens and our worst fears have come true. This Black Krrsantan figure is essentially just a Chewbacca repaint.
Yep, it is a Chewbacca figure that looks like I put it in the oven and cooked it for 30 minutes. And now he's burnt to a damn crisp, or he looks like he's got the symbiote on him. Because, like, the shiny, reflective, glossy paint, he just looks like Sam Raimi's Topher Grace Venom.
Yeah, this is colossally disappointing. It does have a new head sculpt, but even the head sculpt doesn't look very good.
No, and it's like the open mouth, which is nice, and there's like the, you know...
They give him the braids, and they painted the braids accurately, because they're like...
armor.
Yeah.
It looks like one solid hunk.
The thing that... Ooh. So, obviously, if you watch our channel, you know that we have been wanting a Black Krrsantan figure since his appearance in Book of Boba Fett. Pretty much everyone across the board. And to get this as our first taste of a Black Krrsantan figure is just... It's just painful, and
it needed a new sculpt.
They just chose the path of least resistance, which to get it all started, Black Krrsantan is a much bigger Wookiee than Chewbacca.
Not all Wookiees are the same.
To make matters worse, the 2014 Chewbacca body is awful. It needs to be retired.
True.
We've gone way too far in the line, and we've had way too many Chewies. Like, I'm sure that mold has made some profit. I'm sure that mold has made some profit. We could retire that mold.
He looks so small.
And the thing that is sort of like mind-boggling about it is the armor is huge. So it's like, was this armor molded for something bigger? And then they just said, nah, just put it on the Chewbacca body. Because he just looks absolutely thin. He looks like Diet Black Krrsantan. Like,
yeah, and this is different from, like, because normally the philosophy here at Out of the Basement is if a character or a figure gets revealed that you don't like, or it's like you're not familiar with the character, or maybe you don't know the character, or maybe the character doesn't mean a lot to you, then obviously easy pass, save your money and go on your day. But this is different because this is a character that I have grown to really like, especially, you know, first reading that Jason Aaron comic book where he fights Obi-Wan Kenobi, but now big spoilers for Book of Boba Fett. If you still haven't watched the Book of Boba Fett, Black Krrsantan does make a live-action debut in the show. So now we have a live-action iteration of the character, and people have grown to really like the character, and to just have this colossal disappointment of a figure. We predicted it. A lot of people predicted, you know, please no, let it be a new sculpt. Don't let it be on the Chewbacca body.
Right.
Because you can't do a Tarful on the Chewbacca body. You can't do a Black Krrsantan. Wookiees come in all different shapes and sizes. It's so lazy, and you know, we haven't said that in a while. I believe the last figure that I heavily criticized and hated on was Boss. But even this is like, it might even be a little worse because we just had the live action version of the character.
Oh, for sure. Because, I mean, when it comes to Boss has not been reintroduced in any sort of new Star Wars media or anything like that. So he's an obscure character. They want to go maximum reuse on an obscure character. If that's the only way we're going to get that character in the line, that's something that I'm typically okay with. But when it comes to Black Krrsantan, who, yes, was an obscure character, keyword was, but now is not, it just looks even worse on Hasbro. And I do sort of agree, Mike Case was making this point on Twitter, that if Black Krrsantan wasn't in Book of Boba Fett, the outrage for this figure probably wouldn't be as severe, which I do agree with. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in, and Black Krrsantan is in the live action.
Right.
So
it's important to mention as well, like, Mike Case is a completionist, and this has been like the first figure that he almost considered like ending, you know, his completionist streak for. And yeah, people who typically are super positive about the line have come out, you know, heavily criticizing this figure. You know, Victoria's Cantina on Twitter, Mike Case, us.
Yep.
Like, you know, something is wrong when we're going into a little bit of rage mode.
Yeah, because there's really nothing positive to say about this figure. It's just all around a bad, lazy attempt to quickly cash in on... And I hate using the term like cashing in or cash grab, but like that's what this figure screams to me. Just, we got to get a Black Krrsantan figure out the door.
Yeah.
And this was the result.
It's awful. It's jarring to look at. It's so skinny. Chewbacca, the armor looks so big on him. It really is. This might go down in history as the most disappointing Black Series reveal I have ever seen.
Yeah.
This is an instance where Hasbro took it way too far. It's egregious reuse.
Yes.
No excuse for it. You know, we just had a video, Hasbro, about Clone Trooper repaints that you could easily do. You have these Stormtrooper bodies, these Clone Trooper bodies. Pump out repaints on those bodies and use that reuse money, because that's the whole point of reuse, is to get the maximum amount of profit off of that mold. Do that with the Stormies and the clones to fund newly sculpted figures, because Black Krrsantan totally warrants a new sculpt. And you could tell even by the art that they chose to do on the... This isn't like comic versus live action. Like, no, he's a big bulky boy in all forms of media that he's been in.
Right.
So this isn't like a stylistic choice. This is just lazy reuse.
Yeah, it's not accurate to the comic book, nor is it accurate to Book of Boba Fett. It's just a cheap repaint. Unfortunately, this is not the way a lot of collectors wanted to see their very first look at a Black Krrsantan 6-inch action figure. And to make matters even worse, it's $28.
Right, because it's the comic line is like the fan channel exclusive. So it's also a nice exclusive price point. Absolutely ludicrous. It's ridiculous. It's egregious. I hate it.
Yep.
It literally just looks like poop cooked. Like, it looks like you put your Chewbacca figure in your Easy Bake Oven and cook that bad boy.
This is definitely a figure I'm skipping out on.
Oh, yeah. No way.
This is, at best, a severely discounted clearance purchase.
Like, if it was like generic Wookiee number 5, maybe.
Right.
But don't go naming it Black Krrsantan.
Or even something like Zalbar, which, yes, the Zalbar figure is not super ultra accurate to the character design. But, again, that's an example of, you know, Zalbar is not in Book of Boba Fett. Zalbar is from a game from 2003 and has never been in anything else ever again. Right. So when it comes to like getting a representation in that regard, it's like that to me is okay. But this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad move on Hasbro's part.
There's just not...
There's nothing positive to say about this figure. There really isn't, except for the box is cool.
The box is cool.
But guess what? I take my figures out of the box and I chuck the box into storage. Right. So it's like... That is not enough to warrant a $28 plus shipping purchase of this figure, mind you. Not $28 free shipping. It's $28 plus shipping. So you're probably looking to spend like $34, $35 picking this figure up. So it's either you could get Black Krrsantan or you could get the Dark Trooper.
Pre-order the Dark Trooper. I mean, all your money's going to Hasbro anyway, but I just can't see people being super hyped about this figure. Yeah. I just can't see it.
I honestly don't think I've seen a single person say anything positive about this Black Krrsantan figure. So, I mean, I know Lucasfilm, you know, drip feeds them information. So it's like, you know, maybe giving them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't know that Black Krrsantan was going to be in Book of Boba Fett, but it's like... The only way to make this right is to come out of the gate and say, listen, we're going to make a Book of Boba Fett Black Krrsantan. Right, it's going to be a new figure. This is just for people who want the comic book version, yada yada, something like that.
This is what happens when we don't wait. This is what happens when we need our figures right away, is we get this cheap garbage. Like, if a Black Krrsantan figure came out 2 years from now, not even 2023, 2024, 2025, and it was a properly done Black Krrsantan, I would 1,000 times prefer that over this one. It's relevant all the time. You don't need to instantly cash in just because Book of Boba Fett came out and it featured the character. We don't need to take the cheap route and cash in. Take your time with it and do a new sculpt, make it better, even if it's 2 or 3 years from now. Yeah. I don't care. I would much prefer that. Because then... they can turn around and make a perfect Cad Bane from the Bad Batch, which is another reveal, just revealed today because we film on Tuesdays. This is an Amazon exclusive Cad Bane from the Bad Batch, and it has almost all new sculpt by the looks of it. It's kind of hard to tell, but I did whip up a nice side-by-side if you want to check it out. The head sculpt is different. The facial expression is different. The hat is even different and smaller, which is accurate to his look in the Bad Batch. The upper thigh pant, leg part, the gauntlets and hands look the same. But other than that, if you really look at that costume, it appears to be like almost all new sculpt. Pretty insane. And it's like just that every time Hasbro breaks my heart, they come back the next day and they pick up the pieces and then they put it back and I'm like, Cad Bane.
Like it almost kind of does feel like the negative reaction to Black Krrsantan. They were like, okay, put out something that is gonna look good, because you're absolutely right. They knocked it out of the park with this version of Cad Bane from Bad Batch. Tons of new sculpting on it. Like you said, I really think it's elbow down and knee up.
Yeah, like upper thigh area.
Like that's
the pants are different.
Yeah, that's really the only like reuse sculpt. I'm so happy they gave him an alternate expression, because of course that means if you really wanted to, you could probably swap those heads.
With like the things though, the hoses, that might be a little difficult.
The hoses detach.
True. I'd be interested to see if you would be able to do that. But yeah, I love the squinting, because it's obviously based off of the scene where he does the old-fashioned duel with Hunter. So he has that squint, that old Western, good and the bad and the ugly. It looks awesome, and yeah, it is exclusive and it's Amazon exclusive, and I know not everyone has the best of luck, but it is, a slightly different, but kind of totally different, variation of a character, and it's not going to be as desirable as like his main Clone Wars look, which is a mainline release. So I almost in a way I'm like, this makes sense as an exclusive if they have to do it as an exclusive.
And I really think that Amazon has gotten a lot better with their exclusives. I mean, think back to the Artillery Trooper. That was up for hours, and then when it sold out initially, it was back up a day later, 2 days later. So if you were there around that time period, the Artillery Trooper was pretty easy to get. So I don't really have...
I mean, there are people who have, like, physical jobs where it's like they don't have access to a computer at certain hours of the day, or, there are companies out there who punish you if you have a phone on you or take out your phone in the middle of work. So
absolutely,
I totally get that, but it was up there for a couple to a few hours initially, but...
Yeah, but again, like you said, if people want a Cad Bane figure, there is the standard released Clone Wars version that's available for pre-order right now pretty much everywhere. It's constantly been getting restocked ever since it came out. So I can't imagine I'm sure there's someone out there that prefers the Bad Batch look over Clone Wars, but it's like, this, in my mind, does, like you said, make sense as an exclusive. It's... he was in one episode, not like the biggest appearance of him as a character. So it's just like an alternate look for people like us who are big fans of Cad Bane, who do want every single look. It looks great. I think they did a great job with this figure.
That's the thing with the Black Series these days. They come out with Hot Fire Banger Dark Trooper, then they have a dud, Night Brother Archer.
Yeah, and no Arrow.
Black Krrsantan. But then they give you Cad Bane. I'm like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Black Krrsantan was a lot more disappointing than Night Brother Archer, for the record. But yeah, what a wild roller coaster. I'm still, overall, I think I'm still, upset about Black Krrsantan.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think Cad Bane 100%, bandaged my wound, so to speak, but...
Like I said, at this point, even though they would never do this, they just need to come out and let everyone know that a Book of Boba Fett version of Black Krrsantan is coming. But, that won't happen. And I really think that that's kind of one of the major issues with the Black Series team is that none of them are on social media, so they don't really have an ear to the community.
Yeah,
like it still boggles my mind that Steve Evans used to be on the Star Wars team, but is now on the Marvel team, still does way more promotion for Star Wars and everything. It's like, and he's involved in the community. He knows what's going on. He knows what people are looking for, what they want, what they don't want. It's like, maybe someone should get on social media just so they can get a feel for the community, because stuff like this just goes to show you the disconnect between the Black Series collector community and the Black Series team at Hasbro.
Yeah, and you know, is this so bad that I'm gonna destroy my entire collection and sell off my collection? No, absolutely not. But like I said earlier, that's just the difference between, like, you are so looking forward to this specific character and then they reveal it and it's garbage. It's not like a character that I'm not familiar with, doesn't mean that much to me, so it's an easy pass. This is an easy pass, but it's like, I don't want it to be an easy pass.
It shouldn't be.
I want this to be a fantastic figure, and it is just garbage. There's no other way to put it.
Absolutely. So, you know, that's how it is on Out of the Basement. We like to keep things positive, but we're never not going to tell you how it is. We're not going to sugarcoat anything.
Oh, no.
When something like this Black Krrsantan figure releases, there's no defending it. There's really nothing that you could say positive about this figure. So that's pretty much all we've got for you this week. It's a little light news week, but little ranty as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Ring that bell for notifications so you know when we are uploading. We also have a channel membership for 99 cents a month. You can help support the channel. You also get a custom Clone Trooper name badge and some cool custom emojis that you can use in our videos and on our live streams, which happen every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. Usually it's me and Justin with a guest. Sometimes it's just me and Justin. We don't have a guest lined up just yet this week, but I'm sure we'll have someone, so stay tuned. Come hang out with us on Sunday. It's always a lot of fun. We just talk toys, whatever comes to mind, so it's always fun seeing each and every one of you there every week. And thank you to all of our channel members. We certainly appreciate your support, and if you can't support us that way, no problem. Simply liking, subscribing, watching the videos is good enough for us. We appreciate each and every one of you that chooses to watch our videos. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.